Welcome to Wellsprings Community Church.
I've picked two really long Bible readings for this morning, so I'm going to do them. Psalm 102, verses 25 to 27 says, "In the beginning you laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will wear out like a garment. Like clothing, you will change them, and they will be discarded. But you remain the same, and your years will never end." And then, I think trying to write a summary of that, the writer to the Hebrews said, Jesus Christ is the same, yesterday, today, and forever. We've already seen some of the changes that have taken place over the last 70 years. We've looked at prices of things and seen how different they are. But we now live in such a different world to the world of 70 years ago. Just think for a minute about technology, the stuff that we can do. We saw the TV that they had back in 1952. I can remember a few years ago I got freaked out because I had my phone with me when we were camping in the middle of a field in Cornwall, and I was watching baseball live from America on my phone with no connection to anything, just sat in the middle of a field. Looking at the children, that's normal, isn't it? But for lots of us here, that's not. Because the world is, think about medicine and how medicine has changed and what we can do now that we couldn't do then. The number of people that are helped now that couldn't have been helped then. The world has changed. The world is a different place. I don't remember the coronation. Those of you who do, I managed to find a colour picture of the coronation. Children, parents will explain that later. I do remember the Silver Jubilee in 1977. The Silver Jubilee in 1977 is the only time where I, with my own eyes, have seen the Queen. She did a tour around lots of different places, and where my sister, who was a lot older than me, worked, was the route where the Queen was going to be driving through. And so we got to go in the second floor window of the office block that she was working in and look out and see the Queen come past in her car with the glass windows and glass top and everything, doing her wave that I can't do. And I saw the Queen. I remember the Silver Jubilee. Maybe some more of us remember the Golden Jubilee. Even more, perhaps, will remember the Diamond Jubilee. And now we've got the Platinum Jubilee. Can you see the common link between every single picture I showed you? The Queen. Because she's been there through all of those things, through all of those changes, through all of that way that life is now so much different to what it was. She's been there. For most of us, we probably can't remember, even if we were born when it was the coronation, we might not remember being ruled by anybody other than the Queen. We may soon have to change the national anthem to God Save the King. That's what it was. But I've never sung that. That's going to seem like a really weird thing to have to do. I'm going to do what I do with lots of things, I'm sure, and get the words wrong when I come to sing it when England are playing or something. All these things have changed. And yet there's this constant. We're not going for any political comments this morning. No boos as people walk to the front. No, I'm not going to be political this morning. The Queen has been Queen. I was going to leave off the names and see if everybody could do it. The Queen has been Queen whilst every single one of these people has been the Prime Minister of this country. The prime ministers have changed right the way through from Winston Churchill, who for me is somebody from history, but the Queen was Queen when he was prime minister. All the way through to Boris Johnson today and everyone in between. That could have been our quiz for this morning. An even tougher quiz would have been this one. In America, they've had these presidents in all the time that the Queen has been Queen. We might recognize one or two of them from the bottom right. Probably not. Well, some of us will recognize perhaps some of the ones from the top row as well, just from history and history lessons and movies and things like that. In my memory, I go back to Jimmy Carter, so that's my... Whilst all those people have been ruling in America, we've had the Queen. And the amazing thing is that through everything, not only has the Queen remained, actually, her faith in God has remained. I found some quotes. Lots of these come from her Christmas speeches and things like that. To many of us, our beliefs are of fundamental importance. For me, the teachings of Christ and my own personal accountability before God provide a framework in which I try to lead my life. I, like so many of you, have drawn great comfort in difficult times from Christ's words and example. For me, the life of Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, is an inspiration and an anchor in my life. A role model of reconciliation and forgiveness. He stretched out his hands in love, acceptance, and healing. Christ's example has taught me to seek to respect and value all people. And then one last one. Forgiveness lies at the heart of the Christian faith. It can heal broken families, it can restore friendships, and it can reconcile divided communities. It is in forgiveness that we see the power of God's love. This love is for everyone. There is no one beyond its reach. When I saw the things that the Queen has said and how important that faith is to her, it actually really challenged me. But I want to encourage you, if you've never thought about it before, to think about it this morning. Not just the fact that the Queen has this faith, not just the fact that she's ruled and reigned through all of this time, but actually what she's talking about is someone who is infinitely more powerful and infinitely more important and infinitely more loving and has reigned infinitely longer. But I want to encourage you to think about what she said. It's in forgiveness that we see the power of God's love. I don't know whether you've ever known forgiveness for things that you've done. Because actually what I believe is forgiveness is something that is incredibly freeing and incredibly life-giving. And when we've done something wrong and someone forgives us, then that changes our life and the way that we see things. And when we recognize that God, in his love, forgives us, whatever we've done, whatever we've thought, whatever we've not done, whatever we've not thought, whatever other people have done to us and how that's affected us, all of those things, God can come and can meet us in and can say, I forgive you. Because he can do that. Because he has this love that is unending. This love that actually says, I value you. Get this from God. I value you even more and want the best for you even more than I would see it for myself. That's the kind of love we can show others. That's the kind of love that God shows us. This love that's for everyone. If you've never known that God loves you, if you've never known that there's nothing you can do that will ever stop him from loving you, if you've never actually stopped and received and thought about and acknowledged and begun to live in that love that he has for you, then this morning is a time where you can begin to do that. Because this love is for everyone. No one is beyond its reach. That means someone who's never perhaps been in church before until this morning. That means someone who's been in church every week of their life. We need that love to become real in our hearts. Because no one is beyond its reach. Because like we said, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That love that stretches all the way back, stretches all the way forward, and meets us right now when we ask it to. And our life can be changed and transformed by the forgiveness that we receive and by the love that we begin to live in. So this morning, let the Queen be an example to us. As we've thought about an example of those 70 years of service, 70 years of putting others above herself, but how she is acknowledging and saying, actually, there's someone whose life and love and service is way beyond anything that she's ever done, and who can change our lives, our hearts, our minds. We can be transformed by that forgiveness and by that love. And if you this morning are saying, I don't know that, I've never known that, then in a few minutes, just stop and think and pray and ask Jesus to come and to reveal that love to you like he's never done before. And I can guarantee you, your life will be changed because of it. We're going to move into sharing communion together. We're going to take a piece of bread. It's gluten-free bread so that everyone can join in with it. We're going to take a piece of bread and we're going to eat it, remembering Jesus' body that was broken for us. That's how forgiveness and love comes and is shown. We're going to take some juice, because that's what it is. And it's a symbol of Jesus' blood that he shed for us. And we can take it and we can drink it and we can remember that this was planned before the foundations of the world. And it's something that we'll continue to celebrate forever. But right now we can join in. We can say thank you for the past. We can look with excitement to the future. We can begin to have our lives changed again and again and again as we recognize that body and that blood, that life, that death, that resurrection, and how within us that change is made. So I'm going to pray, and then I'm assuming we've got some stewards who are going to come and grab. Yeah, thank you. Come and grab that. So let me pray. If you keep hold of the bread when you get it, and then we'll eat it together in a second.